The screaming and cheering of the crowd is deafening as you are all carried by the skeletons out of Bonington. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! As they throw you over their shoulders, catching you repeatedly. There is confetti that is being thrown in different directions. You see one skeleton weeping softly. An older grizzled skeleton is smoking a cigar and salutes you as you pass, and a long parade of skeletons having streamers and fireworks, confetti. There are banners with your faces on them, carry you out of Bonington. Make way! Make way! Make way for the heroes! Make way for the 3 children that single-handedly solved all of our problems in an afternoon!
We won!
You did it!
Yay!
Obviously, I am, of course, referring to your previous adventure, which is very real and happened. You all, who could forget Carol doing open mic night at the poetry club?
Yes!
And winning the poetry contest?
Yes!
And making the evil skeleton poet bow out from the competition.
This is everything my life has built up for.
Yeah, and of course, who could forget Oswin winning the pie eating contest?
Of course.
After devouring a series of pumpkin and apple pies faster than any other skeleton could possibly do that. How Oswin did it when he is the size of a bat and skeletons don't have stomachs? Obviously we know because we saw that episode and we played it and it happened. So we're aware of the logistics. Anyway, so Oswin won the pie eating contest, and finally resolved Bonington's crippling pie issue that was crushing the economy. There was a pie surplus, and there was no other way to resolve it.
We had to get rid of all those pies somehow.
Yeah, it was truly damaging. There were pies in the streets. Skeletons were just tripping over them. It was bad.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, Tommy solved all those murders. When he unmasked the Bone Guzzler, who was that monster that guzzled all the bones. And of course, as we all know, because we were there, Tommy discovered that the Bone Guzzler was in fact Mayor Humorous.
And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids and the bat.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did bone guzzle Eddie Dedder, and Eddie Dedder is gone.
No, Eddie Dedder!
He was bone guzzled to death.
Our favorite character of all time! We remember him dearly!
Eddie Vedder!
The camera pans up to show like a superimposed faded image of Eddie Vedder in the sky, and he like winks cheekily at the camera before turning into a constellation of stars.
Oh my god.
What a shame. He will live forever in our hearts.
Honestly, Eddie Vedder and Oreo have been my favorite NPCs. Point blank.
Huzzah! Huzzah! Make way for the three heroes!
At least Oswald is still alive.
Oswald also got bone guzzled.
No! But I stole his leg bone!
That's all that remains of Oswald is the leg bone.
The camera pans up to see a large, faded, superimposed image of Oswald in the night sky. He winks cheekily at the camera and then turns into a constellation of stars also.
And because they're both skeletons, they kind of look exactly the same.
They look exactly the same, no one can tell which is which. And they're like, and now we don't have to worry about any of the laws anymore now that the evil Mayor Humorous has been sent to jail forever. Yay! We are going to tear down the city hall and reinstate Bonington as an anarchist commune. Yay! There's much clapping and applauding. Again, you see skeletons weeping. One skeleton picks up a baby skeleton and puts them on their shoulders, and the baby skeleton reaches for you and says, "When I grow up, I'm gonna be just like you."
Oh, don't do that.
Tommy just leaning over to Carol would be like, "Psst, Carol.
Yeah, Tommy.
What's an anarchist commune?"
Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out when you're older.
Death to the bone guzzler!
I have an uncle who lives on a commune.
Now that Mayor Humorous is locked up, he can't make any more oppressive laws or bone guzzle us anymore. Yay!
One of those is probably more important than the other.
Yeah.
The laws, of course.
Now we don't have to pay taxes. Yay!
Yay.
Oh, actually, yeah.
The skeletons start throwing gold doubloons into the sky. Just it's a showering gold doubloons. Carol, a gold doubloon hits you in the eye.
Oh no!
Ouch.
Oh, right under my glasses.
Ooh.
Can Oswin grab one of the gold doubloons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I want to catch as many as I can.
Osmond, you grab a gold doubloon.
Nice. And I guess Carol grabs a few.
I was gonna say, Tommy has the bucket.
The bucket, yeah.
Oh yeah. We just start piling them into the bucket.
Yeah.
As you do notice that they are the kind that peel away to reveal chocolate underneath.
Excellent.
This is even better. Oswin is piling half into the bucket and the other half he is snacking on.
Tommy is looking and goes, "How are you still hungry?"
And thank you again for breaking the curse on the pirate's treasure so that it could be turned back into chocolate.
You're welcome.
We love you.
And I love you, random citizen.
Yay!
How'd you know my name?
Beloved citizen, random citizen.
It's written on my headstone.
One skeleton screams and rips their shirt off.
One skeleton rips their shirt off, and the mother skeleton next to them covers their child's eye holes.
This goes on for 2.5 hours. I worked really hard on this, you guys.
Go ahead, I'm enjoying it.
Please, everyone focus. Until eventually you realize you were in the middle of the woods. You are so far away from Bonington that you can no longer see it. So we don't get any more of that iconic Bonington skyline, what with all of the great landmarks and features of Bonington that we remember visiting before, like the clock tower. I think there was a clock tower there. It seems like there was a clock tower, probably. Or the city hall, which is now being burned down.
I mean, the graveyard was definitely my favorite part.
I think so too. I mean,
You can't beat
when
the
Tommy
graveyard.
solved the murders and unmasked the Bone Guzzler to reveal it was Mayor Humorous, I do think that is an all-timer moment that probably will be remembered in the series for a long time.
Best part of the whole show.
Yeah. And when Tommy, like, artfully explained to all the citizens how Mayor Humorous guzzled all those bones, that was pretty great.
The old
Just
man
like-
Autumn knowledge was still in Tommy's brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And we wouldn't have caught him if we hadn't found his stash of bone hurdy juice.
No, of course, of course.
We do not speak of bone-hurting juice in Bonington. It's forbidden.
Exactly, that's how we caught it.
And now that you are looking around and you are realizing you cannot see Bonington and you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, the skeletons immediately toss you onto the ground and all leave and are gone, except for Bonathan, the trusty skeleton that helped you in all of your previous adventures. Everyone loves Bonathan.
Bonathan!
He's the
bud.
rookie detective one, right?
Bonathan is not a detective, no. That was a different guy.
Sherlock Bones.
Sherlock Bones.
Yeah, Sherlock Bones was the detective, yeah. Until he got bone guzzled.
No! How many skeletons were lost this day?
Too many.
The camera
It was a
pans up to the
tragedy.
sky to see a large superimposed image of Sherlock Bones, who winks down at the camera and then turns into a constellation of stars.
Alright, Bonathan.
Bonathan, yes, okay. I have a good description for Bonathan. Bonathan is a normal skeleton, and he looks like all the other skeletons, but he is wearing glasses.
Oh,
Alright,
So that's different.
sure.
good enough.
Hey, Bonathan.
Hello, my dearest friends, Carol, Tommy, and Oswin.
Bonathan, you are gonna show us the way out, right?
Yes, absolutely, that was the deal. Now that you resolved all of our town's problems in a single afternoon, we promise to send you to the Skeletorium.
Wonderful.
Wait, that wasn't what we agreed on. You said
No,
we were
that's
gonna
what we-
lead us all home.
Yeah, you gotta go into the Skeletorium. That's where the great Halloween spirit resides. Because he's been imprisoned there for all time. You go in and you ask him for a wish, and then he'll grant it to you if you solve his 3 riddles.
More riddles?
Wait, why didn't the clock tower guy do that?
I don't know.
We let him out and he was in prison for all time.
Yeah.
Mhm. I've never met this man.
Are we talking about Old Man Autumn?
He didn't grant us a
Yeah.
wish.
No, but he gave me, some knowledge now.
Oh yeah, because you were like touched by one of the passings of the seasons, and it like represented the end of your childlike innocence, and now you are fully fundamentally aware of the decaying of all things and how time inevitably ravages us all.
I'm sorry? Looks at Tommy.
We moved past that.
You
Yeah,
didn't
that's
tell
how
me
he was
that.
able to solve all those murders.
Yeah, we moved past that. We're moving past that.
Hey, Bonathan,
Yes, I'm Bonathan.
this Skeletorium doesn't have, like, a bunch of traps and, like, spike pits and snakes and...
No, yeah, for sure. That's why we stopped going to the Skeletorium.
Oh,
No one's been in it for hundreds of years, because it's like, yeah, if you solve the 3 riddles, you get a wish, but it's honestly just too much hassle.
Oswin will be fine. At this point, I really don't think...
Bonathan, are you coming in there with us?
Absolutely not. I have to get back
Okay.
to my wife and children.
Okay.
My beautiful wife, Bamantha.
Okay.
Well, lead the way.
Yeah, for sure. It's right over there. And he points, and the camera pans over a little bit, and you see the Skeletorium.
And it goes, da da da!
It is a large skull-like structure carved out
Oh
of
my
obsidian.
gosh.
Flames erupt from the eyes and lightning streaks across the sky periodically. Yeah, so it's just right in there.
Okay, Bonathan.
Alright. Bye! Starting to walk towards it in true Tommy fashion.
Okay, bye.
Yep. Bye, Bonathan.
Bonathan reaches into a bush nearby and pulls out an old-fashioned penny farthing bicycle. He hops on it, and then he pedals away and disappears into the distance.
Okay, this might as well happen.
I mean, yeah, and I would like to state that it's very obvious Tommy's tone has, changed, very differently.
Well, yeah, but we're all familiar because we just finished all the episodes in Bonington.
The multiple episodes.
Bonington was a two-parter.
But, Tommy then also looks to Carol and goes, I didn't tell you because you'd freak out. Anyway, let's go do this thing. You freaked out.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't freak out. What?
You're freaking out right now?
I don't freak out. That's not a thing that I do.
Shush. Let's just go deal with this because I am tired. I do want to just go to bed. This is...
You know what? That's fair. Yeah. That would be great.
I was gonna say, Oswin flies up to the entrance of the Skeletorium and kind of, perches on, I'm assuming the door is like the mouth, right?
Yeah, the door is the open mouth. It's not immediately there. You still do have to walk up to it, but it is within sight.
Oswin kind of perches underneath one of the tooths, upside down like a bat, and looks at the others and is like, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Because I can fly, and most traps, if I remember from my stories, are pressure plates or things you trip over. I can fly through and then come back to you both and tell you if there's anything you should be worried about.
That sounds reasonable.
Does my worry is the idea that maybe if you go too far, there might be something, and then we won't know about it because it's too you get caught in something. That's kind of Tommy's snapping his fingers. Mm-hmm. Is that called a catch-22? I think it is. I don't remember. Right?
Damn, Old Man Autumn did a number on Tommy.
I don't think that's a term you should know.
Which we're all familiar with because we all finished watching the two-parter of Bonington.
But, yeah, no, Tommy just goes, there's a lot of things. I had a wife, it's fine.
Okay, well, what if I just fly back and forth and we just, go a little bit at a time?
How about you just stay ahead of us and we'll walk a reasonable distance behind you?
Yeah. That's
sure.
Good.
That way, if you get in trouble, we'll be there to help.
In that case, I would like to roll Forest Expert.
Sure.
Inside of a building.
Hey, we're in the forest.
It's more about just being here, you know?
Yeah.
You have broken one of the ancient rules, which is using the move Forest Expert indoors. And for your hubris, you are immediately killed.
Right.
Alright. I rolled an 8 plus 2, so that's a 10.
You hear the voice of
Fantastic.
Professor Oak saying there's a time and place for everything.
You know how to get where you're going and can expedite the journey.
Yeah, I mean, you do know how to get where you're going because we can all look and see the Skeletorium off and, not in major distance, about half a mile, right over there. And you all begin taking off, walking towards it. As you do, it becomes, you were in Bonington for a while. It was a long time in Bonington. And so some of this might have faded to the back of your mind or missed your notice. But the effect of letting out Old Man Autumn is definitely noticeable as you look around the hollow. When the wind blows, it's colder and it kind of cuts right to your bones in a way where the wind is shifting and seems to be a little bit more, not not even brisk, but like brutal. More and more trees has lost their red, gold, and yellow leaves and are now just gray, dead wood stretching out into the night sky, which now I guess has 3 skeleton superimposed images on it forever. And so you're seeing more and more of these dead, barren trees that are just gray wood, no leaves. And as you were crunching along through all of these leaves on the ground, more and more of them are kind of slipping and sliding away to see more of that deteriorated, like decomposing black debris underneath it that you all saw around the tower in Witchville. And as you are walking and breathing, you see the heat of your breath making mist in the air as you walk. Those small clouds start filling. The air smells less like apple cider and cinnamon. It smells a little deader, mustier, but there's something else, something kind of spicy or maybe peppermint, kind of in the very, very back of the kind of taste of this cold night air as you walk along. And then you reach the very serious Skeletorium. As you walk up and you all look up at this big skull-shaped rock, again, flame gouts from the eyes and lightning flashes across the sky. And the entrance is just the open mouth, and then a stone staircase leading down. It kind of looks like the Chamber of Secrets from Aladdin, but like not a cat.
I'm sorry, you mean the Cave of Wonders?
Wait, what? I said the Chamber of Secrets. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Cave of Wonders.
I was like, what?
I'm sorry, I'm really tired from writing all of that stuff about Bonington.
I feel like even though Tommy has still has gone through all this, there's still that hesitation because in the long run, Tommy is still 6, and even though he's lived a life in his head, it's still, the dark is still scary to me, even though I know there shouldn't be anything, really, I'm still scared of it.
Yeah, fair.
But it's just like, I don't want to do this.
Carol takes your hand and starts to go inside.
Okay.
So yeah, Oswin's gonna do that bit where flying a little bit ahead to see if there's anything that might get in their way.
Sure. As you're walking along, you see old lanterns and torches nailed to the wall, and as you pass them, they burst into orange and purple flame alternatingly. As you go down the steps, and at the bottom of the steps, you see a well-appointed living room from, you want to say, like, the 1930s? Just like a very old-fashioned, kind of ripped out of time living room. There is a rug, there is a crackling fireplace, you see various bookshelves lined about, and a coffee table that has a dish full of 1920s candy in it? 1930s candy.
I think that might be outdated.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that.
Oswin flies down and lands next to the dish and kind of gives it a little sniff.
Oswin?
Oswin?
It smells fine to you, Oswin.
Oswin?
Oswin?
This is why you're a bat. Don't.
Not only is it probably outdated, but also it's probably a trap.
Yeah, you were talking about traps. This is 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, it's probably a trap, but it might not be outdated. This is like sugar. Sugar never goes bad.
That is...
Dang, he has a point.
No! No!
That's not what.
No!
You all think about it, and that is how it works. Dang, crazy.
I think Carol's going crazy. I'm doing a lot of, like, anxious laughing.
Carol's having a rough time.
No, yeah, Carol's kind of going crazy, and Tommy is growing up way too fast.
Carol's sense of control is waning.
Yes! A lot happened in Boatington, we all remember.
Do you eat the candy or not?
No!
Don't.
Oswin thinks about it, but they've really gotten stuffed with all those pies and with all that chocolate that they're not going to eat one right now.
You ate so many pies it changed the town's economy.
Yeah. So Oswin just grabs one of the candies.
Okay, you put it in Tommy's trick-or-treater thingy?
Yeah, for later. Just one.
Sure. I'm good at podcasting. I'm really descriptive. Did you like how I
bucket.
called Tommy's
Trick-or-treater
It's a
thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plastic...
Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Paint me a word picture, and I did.
Oswin just grabs one of the candies and drops it in the bucket. Just one.
Sure.
Trick or treat.
Tommy has the deadest expression on his face that
Oh!
it has been all, like, before Old Man Autumn, it was always smiles. It's just deadpan.
Really? Really?
I choose trick.
You all hear a kind of like resonant voice echoing through the Skeletorium, a real serious place.
Aw, wait. If they chose trick, does that mean we don't get the candy?
Well, you did get the candy.
Name yourself.
I'm Oswin.
I'm Carol.
Anderson.
That's Tommy.
You just...
Look, it's not a fairy.
We don't know. We don't know what this is.
It's obviously a skeleton.
I am no mere skeleton. I am the Halloween spirit. I am one of the greatest and most famous denizens of the Hollow. I am the Pumpkin King.
No, you're not.
Carol, this is Tommy smacking, like, Tommy's like, Carol, no.
Wow.
What do you mean I'm not? What? No, I'm the Pumpkin King.
We have the Pumpkin King right here.
Tommy is, like, probably smacking your leg with the bucket.
Oswin speaks up like, yeah, Tommy's the Pumpkin King.
I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in a pumpkin outfit. I don't know what you're talking about.
You still have the little pumpkin hat.
And it was a hat. I found it.
And a pumpkin plastic bucket.
Yeah.
It's trick or treat. They're everywhere. What are you talking about? They're everywhere.
The heck you mean I'm not the Pumpkin King?
Well, okay, look, I guess there can be two Pumpkin Kings.
No, there's one Pumpkin King. My throne is eternal, and it's for me. It's
Well,
my throne.
I don't see a throne.
Well, if you're the Pumpkin King, you've been doing a really bad job of it, because Tommy here has been going around and solving
No.
people's problems and calling himself the Pumpkin King, and he's done a much better job of it than you have.
It's true. He solved a murder today.
How dare you! I have been trapped in the Skeletorium, a real and very serious place, for eternity. I have been bound in the strongest chains of candy corn for 1,000 years.
Hang on, did
Okay,
you say candy corn?
Oh boy.
Oswin, we just talked about this. No.
Oswin, we've gone over this. You're going to be sick if you keep eating.
Also, you're gonna stay a bat if you don't learn.
Also that.
I feel like normally when skeletons and children come in here, there is more respect and gravitas for my whole thing.
Okay, Pumpkin King number 2. Look, we've been through a lot.
See, that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm an immortal amalgamation of, like, a holiday spirit, right?
Okay, listen. Okay, Halloween spirit. I have to deal with Old Man Autumn.
Uh-huh.
Ugh, that guy.
I think Carol's a little bit off her rocker. Austin has been eating so much candy, I think he's probably going to get diabetes at age... How old are you? Like 8? At age like 10?
I don't even know
Tommy?
what that
Can't get
is.
diabetes if you're a bat.
Tommy, stop being the voice of reason. It's freaking me out.
That's science. That's just science.
Listen, Pumpkin King, if you're supposed to be so scary and the biggest spirit of Halloween, then how come the Marquis is scarier than you?
Oswin makes a good point.
You know what? I don't even want to do the thing anymore. You can all go. Normally when kids come in here, there's kind of a little bit more like ooh and ah. I don't know.
Okay,
But call me old-fashioned, but I liked it when people come in and do the patter with me.
Look, we've been setting free, like, everyone, so why don't we just keep up this feeling? How do we get you out?
Yeah, where's your candy corn cage?
Yeah, why don't we get you out?
Many skeletons have tried. No skeletons have succeeded.
Okay, but we're not skeletons.
I got Old Man Autumn out of a tower by tricking a witch. I don't know what you
And
want
you're
from me.
talking to the Bonington pie eating champion.
It's true.
I solved murders. I'm like 6, but also Old Man Autumn, so it's weird. Anyway, I solved murders in Bonington, and I brought out Old Man Autumn. I feel like we can do this. Also, I've been helping a lot of people by just Spirit of Whimsy. My whimsy's a little bit gone a little bit, but it's still there, because I'm...
Dang. I'm sorry about your whimsy.
So let's keep it going, though, because good natures and good deeds still keep moving forward, and that's what I've been noticing, and that's still part of the whimsy.
Not necessarily.
Well, it's been so far.
There is no intrinsic cosmic law to the universe. Goodness has no inherent value except what you ascribe to
You
it.
are a Halloween spirit trapped in candy corn
Halloween
chains.
is not about goodness.
No, but you're trapped in candy corn chains. None of this is how it works
Go to
in
Earth
general.
Day or Christmas if you want goodness. That's not what Halloween is about.
Well, it has been so far when I've been around, so how about you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, hey, are your candy corn chains just like actual candy corn? Because I could just reach it up, grab it, break it.
They are not. They are enchanted by the blackest of magics.
Oh, cool. We've dealt with tons of black magic.
Do we see him? Is he like in the room, or are we just hearing his voice?
No, you were just hearing a voice. There's not even kind of any pumpkin stuff around. You've just kind of been screaming at the air this whole time.
And Tommy's just like, okay, so here's the thing. So we've been learning about from the witches, which I made a lot of witches.
I hate those guys.
Yeah, they're kind of weird. I don't know about what's going on with these black daisies. I have a good amount of them in my bucket.
Those are bad.
Yeah, we're not a huge fan of the witches either. Oswin got turned into a bat. I'm being turned into a nutcracker. Tommy seems fine with them.
Dang, that's crazy.
It's again, by moving it forward, it's been so far working in my favor, so we're just gonna keep the ball rolling. What do you know how you got into this predicament? Because if we get you out, maybe finally I can go to bed.
Yeah, where are you? I'm getting annoyed talking to the air.
Under the light of the first blood moon, the Marquis, though he was not known as that at the time, came and engaged me to a battle of wits. I, of course, acknowledged and competed him because I am the Pumpkin King, the Halloween spirit, the master of tricks and also treats, that too. But he got me.
Oh, so you were stupid.
No. I made several really good, calculated decisions. Classic trickster stuff. Good spiriting.
I'd like to clarify that as Oswin shouted that out, it just pans to Oswin lying in the candy bowl. Not eating it, but just kind of lying in it. Comfy.
Swimming around.
Yeah.
Lounging in the candy bowl like a French monarch.
Yeah. Big bat belly, just, sticking
my
up.
gosh.
Little toes
Okay.
waving in the air.
Okay, enough of all this grand bluster and Honest Tale Speed's best being plainly told. Just tell us what to do.
You don't want to hear my cool backstory?
No, it's fine. We get it.
You don't want to hear about how the witches danced in the red light and covered my body in candy corn chains?
They do that all the time.
I was dragged screaming from the clearing in the glen. They threw me down the stairs. I'm trapped in the Skeletorium.
I was gonna say, why don't we listen so we get a better idea? Carol, chill out.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I feel like, you know what? You've really thrown me off my groove, and I'm kind of struggling here.
I'm trying to help with that. They're being rude.
It's fine. Look, a lot of skeletons come down here and ask me for favors. I do a whole thing about how you have to collect the 3 keys and find my door, and if you plug the 3 skeleton keys into the locks on the door, it opens up and you can free me and return me to the world. But it's perilous. Ooh, all the skeletons die.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, I just want to go home, and the way to do it is if we get you out.
Yeah, where are the
'Cause
keys?
You know what? Carol, stop interrupting. I need you to take a chill pill for like 5
Well,
minutes.
unfortunately, I'm all out of chill pills.
I feel like you all really need to learn the value of teamwork
Trust me.
and the true meaning of Halloween.
The true meaning of Halloween in what regards? Do you mean the way that it's trick-or-treating? Is it the way that we're supposed to
No,
stay
yep,
together?
that's it. That's the true spirit of Halloween.
Tommy just is like,
It's tricks and treats.
I think I've had
Those
enough
are
of this,
my
dude.
2 things.
well, you need to get better things.
Even Tommy's turned against you.
No, I'm just saying, there's more to it than just that, because part of Halloween that makes it fun is being with friends. Like, it's more fun being in a little group than going by yourself, So it ends up being that way, and I think that should also be it. I understand it's like, ooh, if you want an Earth Day or Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I heard you. I'm talking about the fact that, in the end, Halloween is something that a lot of people celebrate for fun. People don't have to. A lot of places
There
don't.
is no fun in Halloween.
Oh,
There is no spirit of togetherness. There is simply tricks, and there are treats.
It's
There
tricked
are
or
the
be
tricksters
tricked.
who claim their treats, and there are those who are deprived of them.
You know what? Actually, I am the Pumpkin King. You suck.
Yeah! High fives, Tommy.
I don't know. It's around. They're like around here somewhere in the Skeletorium. It doesn't matter. You're all gonna die or whatever.
Alright, someone roll Gander, please.
I
I don't think breaking the 4th wall was kind of part of the humor palette for this.
No, this is really funny though.
I think we mostly played it pretty straight that way, meta-wise.
Look, if no one rolls Gander, I'm going to roll Hurt and just start hitting walls.
No,
There's
Okay.
gonna be a really sharp, harsh tonal vibe later in the episode.
no, okay. I'm gonna try to look around. I'm not, and we're gonna.
Sure. Look around.
You want us to help you or not? Don't give me that attitude, okay? I've had a.
I'm not giving you attitude. You're giving me attitude. You are all very disrespectful.
I'm
I
trying to
am the
help.
king of all pumpkins. Do you get that? Do you know how many pumpkins there are?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do,
well,
and you're doing a bad job of it. So
Yeah,
how
it
about
also
we try to
wasn't
help?
great, us coming in here, and the first thing you say, rather than greeting us and welcoming us into your area of abode, was, "Fear me, I am evil!" Don't do that, that's rude too.
The first thing I said was I choose trick, but
That was also
potato,
very rude.
tomato.
This. Okay,
Oh my God.
Carol, I am going to.
Tommy, roll gander. Tommy, I want you to lead the look around.
Yeah,
Tommy.
no, Tommy is.
Tommy, I'm out of meds. I haven't had my meds in days.
I can kind of tell.
Right? Carol lore just dropped.
Are you on anxiety meds? Because if not, you need to be.
Anxiety, ADHD, probably autism.
I could say a lot of things, but we're gonna just keep moving. That is a flat 8.
With a flat 8 on a gander.
I have it. Ask your DM 2 of the following questions. One will be true, the other a lie.
Sure.
So I think what happened here recently and what should I be wary of?
That's good.
Because what here is not what it seems. We're in a 1930s room. There's stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there's too much.
Well, what happened here recently, as you look around looking for signs of disturbance, you don't see too much. It mostly looks pretty pristine. The skeletons said they hadn't come down here in years, though whatever the skeleton's concept of time is down here, who knows? So nothing has happened here recently. As for what you should be wary of, I mean, probably everything. When you look around, the fireplace, this is like a haunted house dungeon thing, made by... You kind of pressed B through his monologue about the backstep, but it's something about witches dancing in the red light of the first blood moon or whatever. That probably is bad.
Skip,
There's a crack-
skip.
Yeah. There's a crackling fireplace that, as you look at it, seems... You don't know... You can't put your finger on it, but you're unsettled by it as you look at that fireplace. You look down a hall, and it's, like, dark at the end of it every once in a while, and, like, a light will flicker. Yeah, nothing is going on here, and you should be very wary of everything.
Okay,
Well,
I think
one of those is a lie.
And one of those is a lie.
I feel like with that, Tommy would, I think looking at the fire, because that's the one that's most like, something's off about it. Tommy would pick up one of the candies and kind of like hold, like, you know, when you have like a baseball in your hand, you kind of throw it up a little in your hand. Tommy would do that with the candy and then just chuck it into the fire. Whole baseball.
There is a small gout of fire and popping sound. And you burn a little bit of chocolate and plastic.
Hey, rude.
I would like to take one of the sticks kind of sticking out of it and like use it as a torch.
I'm trying to figure out how to go
This whole
about
place
this.
seems extremely flammable. I don't do that.
Carol, put it back. You're extremely flammable. Please.
You're extremely flammable.
No,
I'm so
you're
sorry. I really need my meds.
You know what else is extremely flammable? Pumpkins. Pumpkins are extremely flammable.
Are they?
She's just. Yeah,
Not really.
I mean,
I am.
Another reason
You're
why you're
really-
not the Pumpkin King.
I was gonna say you're really not good at that, but anyway.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I'm the only one wearing a crown here.
And it's and you see Tommy curb himself, but then he goes, it's a bad crowd. You saw the start of an SH and then he just he pulled it back.
Whatever. I'm taking a torch. What's down that hallway?
Okay, Carol, roll Gander as you march down the dark hallway.
Oh boy, I don't have Gander.
So you get a negative to that.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
-2 because I have a +0 to Doodle.
Oh no.
That's a 6.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I fail! I mark experience!
Yay, Mark Experience! That's the name of the show.
That's the name of the thing we do.
I'm going crazy,
Tommy
guys.
and Oswin, you watch as Carol, very like in a harumph, pulls her flaming stick out of the fireplace, turns around, marches right into the dark hallway, and disappears into the darkness, never to be seen again.
Oh!
Just instantly vanishes, gone. The light flickers and illuminates the hallway briefly. There is no Carol in the hallway. Absolutely vanished.
I don't like that.
Where? What?
Hey, Oswin, get into the bucket. You and I are gonna march through together. And when I say together, I mean don't fly away out of the bucket. And I will keep a hold of the bucket. Got it?
I don't know about this.
Do you want to get out of here or do you want to stay a bat for the rest of your life?
Splitting up has always worked really well before.
Yeah, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
I'm not being facetious.
Yeah, no, but your whole thing is about trick or treating, and so you're trying to be tricking and
I don't do tricks on people that are here to free me. That would be ridiculous.
You just
Why
said-
would I do tricks on you if you're gonna get me out?
What if you go on ahead and I wait here in case Carol comes back?
No.
That's what I would do.
And puts Oswald in the bucket and goes, no, because I'm also really scared.
There should be a survivor to tell your stories.
Oswin is gonna fly out of the bucket and onto the ceiling.
Okay, Oswin.
We're gonna
I think
fight.
this is a skidoo, Oswin. Roll
This is
skidoo.
probably a skidoo.
No, I am holding him down. Tommy wants to hold him down.
He's skidooing.
Oh. I rolled a 9.
You escape but create a complication. You leave something behind, you take something with you, you create tracks, etc. Oh, I have a great you escape but create a complication. Oswin, you leap out, you fly around the room and dive let's say do you want to dive down the hallway or do you want to dive up the fireplace chimney?
Up the chimney. That makes more sense.
Tommy, you watch as Oswin leaps from your bucket, flitters around the room in kind of a panic, and then shoots up the chimney, gone, never to be seen again, vanished.
Idiot,
Like a gust of
idiot.
wind just suctions me up.
Idiot. Trying to make it so we stay together so that we can
And
do
then
this.
there was one.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Tell me, false pumpkin king.
So far, I'm doing more pumpkin kinging than you are. You haven't been doing anything for what? How long? No. If you were supposed to be the king of tricks, you wouldn't have gotten yourself into this in the first place. I'm gonna go down.
He's crazy crafty. And like spooky too.
He is spooky, I know. Anyway, I'm gonna go down the hall to try to find my sister, and you're going to just suck it up and learn that no, you're the spirit of Halloween, you're not the pumpkin king, because you would be better if you were. So I'm gonna go.
You would be better if you were. Cutting. And Tommy, you march into the hallway.
What is happening? We're so savage this episode.
Well, you're all really tired from your adventures in Bonington.
Of
Tommy was
course.
already tired after the witches, he was already getting grumpy, and then he lived a whole life and died.
That's true.
And then was brought back, and then
And
solved
Carol's going insane.
Yeah.
She needs her meds, Tommy.
And she's turning into wood.
And also that.
Yeah. Don't forget that he had to solve all those murders.
Yeah, exactly. Tommy had to solve all those murders, and now Oswald's instead of, hey, sticking together and let's all go in there, has now separated himself and is stuck in a chimney somewhere. So now Tommy, gripping the bucket for dear life, is going through the dark hallway.
Yeah.
I
so,
think we're
Tommy,
going to hear more about Oswin's backstory in this episode.
Gasp! Yeah, it sounds like he's got over-attachment issues.
You start walking down the hallway carrying your little bucket of candy, and leaves. There's a few black lilies marching down. The wood creaks under your steps. The light flickers creepily and eerily as you walk along. And it seems like you walk on and on and on for hours?
If Tommy is directly facing his greatest fear, should he roll brace yourself?
Mm-hmm.
He's afraid of the dark.
Because there is the flickering of the light, and when you turn around, Tommy, you do see the dim light of the living room and the fireplace. And as you continue to walk along this hallway that is sometimes illuminated, sometimes not so much, you come to your first door. It looks like a plain wooden door, but hanging from the door handle is a little wooden sign cut into the shape of a pumpkin, and painted lovingly with care on it is the name Tommy.
I wouldn't go in there.
Are you actually trying to help, or what? What is it?
I like helping. I don't want to be stuck in here forever. If you do it, then I get out.
Okay, so then my question is do you have any idea what goes on behind the door? Or do I just keep going and try to find Carol and the Carol door?
Everyone's doors are different. It generally goes better if you're by yourself.
That's what I'm saying, is the whole idea of it is that what if Carol's behind the door, because Carol has a really... I've just noticed this because I'm starting to notice a lot more things. It's really weird now, because I went from not like just going through the world all happy and stuff, and now I'm like, I know what taxes are. I get it. I don't like knowing what taxes are. Anyway.
Me neither, man.
Anyway, so...
I don't think Bonington cared too much for taxes either.
No, they didn't. I still don't know exactly what anarchist commune is, because that is... Anyway, because Carol has a lot of really... I think at this point, she's more worried about me growing up than she is about taking care of herself, but she doesn't want to admit the fact that because of this situation, I have grown up. But she doesn't want to admit it, because... Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna open the door.
Yeah.
I was feeling a lot of tension between you two. I think that's a very apt summary of what's causing the strife in your personal relationship.
This is very recent and new. I'm tired.
I love that Tommy has the memories of being an adult and the knowledge and stuff, but still, as a baby, does not have the words to describe it.
Anyway.
All right. You want to open that door?
I opened the door. Tommy opens the door.
See you on the other side.
And you open the door and the darkness swallows you whole. Carol.
Yeah.
You are wet.
Oh.
There is a dampness that is all over your body, and your costume, it is clinging to your skin in a really uncomfortable way where it's almost so humid it's like sticky.
Gross, 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 gross.
And your feet are entirely submerged in water. As you look around and the darkness clears, as a single light bulb clicks on above your head, you see you are in what appears to be a kind of basement? Like a cellar, maybe? and it is filling with water slowly.
Oh!
As you look up, you see there is a drip, drip, drip from the ceiling. You look around desperately, and you see there is a old-fashioned water heater that has ruptured, and there is water pouring from it into the room, and slowly and steadily, the water level is rising.
Okay, and I don't see anything else, like, so I can get out?
As you look around, it just kind of looks like a large basement area. You see some stairs leading up to a ceiling. There is, like, they just go perfectly up to the ceiling and then stop. There is no door. There is no, like, hatch or walkway or anything. Just kind of a staircase to nowhere.
I have an idea, but I don't think there's a move for this.
It could be cause mischief if it's a scheme.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would have a -2 to roll. Actually, okay. She sees all this, her first instinct is to panic, because what the heck, Tommy is gone, she is in a place about to be drowned, and there's no exit that she can see. But she forces herself to take a deep breath and goes, of all base passions, fear is the most accursed. And she is going to try and calm herself and take an actual serious look around. Recite poetry. That is a 7. Dang it.
You are swept up in your own verse. The DM tells you something poetic about your situation, but it's up to you to make it useful.
Yeesh.
Oh, I know that one.
And you hear the voice of the Pumpkin King echoing through the basement.
Hello again.
Hello, Carol. Water, huh?
Yeah. Water.
Filling up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Got a thing about drowning, Carol?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably top 5 worst ways to go.
Okay. She starts taking off her gloves, goes over to the water heater. She's gonna try and shove her gloves into the hole.
Careful, that's probably hot.
I mean, aren't her hands wooden at this point?
It's true. My arms
That's
are wooden.
true, yeah. As you start wading through the water, you feel something brush against your feet.
No!
Did you see that?
I did not.
Something definitely moved in the water.
You're not helping!
I feel like being very helpful. There's something moving in the water.
I know that. Don't need you to say it. Keep shoving gloves in the hole.
You hear a splash behind you.
I think it's getting closer.
Is the water heater, like, submerged?
No, it's kind of higher up, but, you know, the water level is raising. Eventually it would be.
Yeah, she would like to climb on top of it and look behind her.
Okay, you, What is climbing? You know what, let's do skidoo. Let's do a skidoo.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I better roll high for this.
Scampering around, I think, counts as skidoo activity.
That's a 3.
Okay, Carol, you start clambering up the water heater. Bits of you do get burned, because not all of you is wood, but enough of you is wood that you're able to start climbing up. And as you do, you get to the top, and you look underneath you, and when you do, you just see black water. Whatever basement ground or anything was there has definitely just fallen away, plummeting out from underneath, and it is just endless aquatic abyss. It looks like staring at the ocean at night. You do see something moving in the water, though.
Okay, Mr. Pumpkin King. Any advice? Anything good.
That all seems pretty bad.
Okay.
He's so unhelpful.
Have you tried a trick?
I don't have those.
Have you tried a treat? Maybe if you feed it, it won't feast on your little child bones.
I'm not the one who carries them. That's Tommy. Tommy's whole deal is giving things. And I have to make sure he keeps it for himself because he won't if he doesn't.
Do you think you're maybe more focused on Tommy having things because you feel that you've lost your chance to have things?
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
Classic case of projecting to me.
Yeah, well, it's too late for me to have it, so he deserves to have it. He needs to.
Do you think that your case has any relevance to his?
I just want to make sure that he's happy. Because I wasn't allowed to.
Kinda seems like your happiness and his happiness aren't necessarily linked. There is no seesaw of happiness in the universe.
Yeah, well, I don't need you to tell me that right now.
The water is rising pretty high. It's about
Okay,
a third up the...
Do I see any cracks in the walls?
There are no cracks in the walls.
Okay. You know what? If there is water coming through this has to be coming from somewhere. And she starts just ripping out the thing from the wall with her wooden arms.
Okay, fantastic. This is a cause mischief for sure.
Are you sure it's not hurt the wall?
No. Hurt seems like attacking a creature to me, whereas,
Well, it says you can hit something.
When all else fails, you hit something.
Yeah, it does say that.
That's, you know what? Yeah, that's true. Sure. Roll hurt. Roll to hurt.
I think cause mischief would be more if Carol was trying to, like, carefully do something. Or,
Sure.
Do something with intention. Carol's just freaking out.
I am actively destroying. I got an 8, do 1 harm, but I get hurt as well. Which, how much would I get hurt?
I'm going to say you're going to take 1 harm. This will just be the culmination of all of your little burns.
Minus 1 harm because of my wooden body.
Riley's second guessing now.
Yeah, no, this is just you're gonna take...
I think you should allow the 1 harm,
Yeah,
I mean, if you wanted to ignore armor, quote unquote, when wood gets wet, though, it becomes less, firm.
Less flint. Yeah, that's true. You know what? No, I said 1 harm. You have the thing, so you take 0 harm from the... Yeah, we'll just say narratively you get burns. You start banging around with this water heater, and it gives. And as it gives, you are sent careening into the water with the water heater landing on top of you. And you start to sink into the water. It is black, and it is cold, and you feel something moving around you.
Is there a way I can force myself to turn more wood? Wood doesn't need to breathe. Wood can't get
Interesting. Has Carol pieced together what her curse is exactly and what causes her to lose part of her body into wood? Because there is a very specific thing that causes that, and I'm wondering if Carol has noticed it.
I
her
think...
stubborn ideology?
Wasn't it like her
Kind
being
of,
disrespectful to adults?
Not exactly, but you're both very close, but not necessarily right on the money. But I think that is enough of that, on on the target, if not the bullseye, that Carol has the neighborhood of what does it.
Okay. I don't know what role that would be to try and do that.
Let's say brace yourself.
Okay, have that one.
Brace yourself is what you roll when you're facing your fears, right?
Yeah.
This
is
when
about
you
as facing...
prepare for
yeah.
incoming harm, so that's
Yeah.
why I was like, it's like if you're afraid of something, you'd
Yeah.
expect harm to come to you.
Definitely.
I am rolling very middle today. That was a 7.
A 7, you cancel 1 incoming harm, but you garner the attention of the attackers. Carol, as you are sinking, you start thinking about what is your curse exactly? Your idea of maybe if I was all wood, like the Hollow Guard, maybe whatever is here won't hurt me so bad. And as your body kind of turns and shifts in the water, you make eye contact with something. And we're going to cut away from Carol to Oswin.
Just something. Okay.
Oswin, you are sucked, rolling in a spout of smoke and heat, all the way up the chimney until you are spat out into a greenhouse room. You are still inside, and when you look around, you see the glass panels of walls and ceiling, but there are trees and plants all around you.
Oh. Well, this
And you
isn't
land smokily into this, greenhouse.
Osmond kind of sits up a little bit, does their best to dust themselves off with their little bat hands, and looks around and is like, well, this wasn't really what I thought would be inside of a giant skull.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised too.
You know, Pumpkin King number 2, I like
Really
I like
insulting,
you.
but okay. Thank you. It kinda seems like your other friends don't very much.
I mean, yeah, well, you're not amazing, but
Wow.
you're the spirit of Halloween. You don't
Exactly.
need friends. You just need candy and tricks and little scares and yeah,
You get my whole deal.
exactly. Yeah.
Oswin, you know the true spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, it's all about candy.
It's candy and tricks.
Yeah.
Oswin, this isn't a good thing.
We're not here,
You
we can't
get
say
it,
anything.
man.
It's not about friends. You don't need to have friends on Halloween. If you have friends, you just get less candy.
That's not how that
Oh,
works. That's
Oswin.
not how that works. That's not
Why
how
share with anyone?
Yeah.
Oswin.
Oswin is gonna stay a bat forever at this rate.
Hey, I'm
You
gonna
know,
stay a
Pumpkin
nutcracker
King.
forever.
If I find you, I'm gonna try to chew off your candy corn chains, because I can eat any candy.
That would be great. I have gotten really tired of being stuck in this place. And every once in a while, a bunch of skeletons come down here to bother me, and then they leave or they, vanish into a room never to be seen again.
So, where do I go from here? I don't know if I could fly back down that chimney.
Every room's a little different. I don't know,
Hey.
look around, you might find the key.
Hey, I wanted to ask,
Sure.
one of the skeletons said that if we let you out, we'd get a wish.
Yep.
Is this one wish per person, or one wish?
One collective wish.
So
You haven't made a super great impression on me as a group.
if I'm the only person who helps you, then
Well-
I'm the only one who gets the wish.
Rude.
Yeah, I guess if Carol and Palmy die or whatever, they wouldn't be around. specify.
I don't think they can die. Carol's made of wood.
It's true.
Skeletons die in here all the time. They're made out of bone.
Do they? How does that work
Oh, for
exactly?
sure. They come traipsing in here and they say,
Pumpkin King, grant us your wishes.
and
It's
I
like
say,
an actual recording of their voice.
absolutely, and I do my whole spiel, and I say to release me so I can solve your problems and grant your wishes, you need to collect the 3 keys and find my door. The task will be perilous. And they're like,
No, for sure, I got it.
and then they wander off and they go into a room. And I've never seen any of those guys again.
Well, you know what I have that they don't?
Wings.
Wings. And I'm gonna roll gander.
Absolutely. Roll gander.
Alright. Okay, well that was a 5 plus 2 is a 7.
Okay, you can ask 2 questions, and one of them will be true, and one of them will be answered with a lie.
What should I be wary of? And what here is not what it appears to be?
What you should be wary of is you hear a deep growl coming from somewhere in the greenhouse.
Yeah, I figured.
Just a deep-throated, just... As for what here is not as it appears to be, this all seems pretty standard stuff, honestly.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Honestly,
You
not
knock on
a
a wood, you knock on a tree, you're like, yep, that's wood. You look at a leaf, green. This all checks out.
honestly, with
Okay.
how it's going, yeah, this whole checks out.
For sure.
I think the moment Oswin hears the growl, they're gonna fly up into one of the trees. Because they know dogs are not great at climbing.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, dang. That's crazy.
You don't happen to have any noise
Bones?
thingies that make
Weirdly,
noise
no.
as a trick?
I'm great at tricks, but I'm not even sure what I'm looking at here. This thing is gnarly.
Oh, so you can see it? Where is it? Where is it?
Oh yeah, it's kind of just like over there, past that rutabaga bush.
Do you see
I'm
a,
not sure what breed that is.
do you see a door anywhere?
Man.
No.
Man, it's almost like we shouldn't have split up.
Oh, here it comes.
And you see, slinking out from behind a bush, which definitely isn't a rutabaga bush, but
I don't even know
You
what
know
that
what,
is, so...
yeah, you're gonna let it slide, is, gosh, calling it a dog is generous. It is a big, burly, 4-legged creature, certainly. There is no fur on it to begin with.
Oh.
It just has emaciated, like pallid green at some parts, bruised in some others, skin that hangs off of it like a sheet. Its head is roughly dog-shaped, but there are no eyes on it. It just has a long, extended snout full of multiple rows of teeth. And bright green drool and slobber hangs down out of its mouth, kind of dripping solidly from it. There is no tail on this creature, but there is a collar that is wrapped around its neck, and there is a bone-shaped thing hanging from it that just says Fido.
Fido?
Fido!
I love Fido.
The most dog name for a dog.
Yeah. And it sniffs the air.
I love this disgusting little creature.
Listen, if it's a dog, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
Another deep-throated growl comes from it. It sniffs again.
I think it's picked up your scent.
Yeah. This will be an interesting one, because I do specifically have a move called Play Possum, which causes someone to see me as a normal animal, but I don't think that's going to be helpful here. I think either way.
Either way, you're kind of boned. But it,
You know what?
Yeah.
I think it's a German Shepherd.
Debatable.
Oswin climbs higher up into the tree.
Labradoodle, maybe.
You see the beast called Fido hears your little scurry, and immediately whips its head around towards the tree you're in, and begins trotting over to the tree eagerly.
Okay, Oswin just freezes.
It starts sniffing around the tree eagerly. It's kind of circling you, getting closer and closer.
Please don't climb, please don't climb, please don't climb.
why don't?
Is it just pacing?
Yeah, it stops at the root of the tree, stops sniffing, and then looks up. If it had eyes, it would be looking right at you.
Oh, there's no eyes.
Yeah.
Oswin hugs the tree branch as tightly as he can, and is just like, I'm going to starve to death here.
Gee, it's almost like Tommy's idea of maybe we shouldn't split up is starting to look better now, huh?
Fido does that dog thing when it rears up onto its back legs and then does a big stretch, and it places its paws up as far up the tree as it can, and it cracks its paws apart, and you kind of see the side of the paw kind of like disconnect a little bit further, and its paws grip the tree, and it starts pulling itself up,
Okay.
and it begins climbing the tree with its like paw hands and like paw thumbs.
You take your body horror nonsense away from here.
Oswin makes a run for it.
Yeah.
We're gonna skidoo.
Oh
boy.
Can't do.
That's not great. I got a 4.
Oh,
You got a 4.
we're rolling so
Okay.
bad, guys.
You flap out, diving away from the tree, and as you do, Fido, like, leaps off of the tree, spinning towards you, and snaps his razor-sharp, multi-rows of teeth jaws down, catching you just so, and you're going to take 2 harm.
All right.
Oh.
Also, I
Yeah.
get an XP. Marcus
I was gonna
Pants.
say-
Nice.
Yeah.
Oswin, as you flit away desperately, Fido comes crashing down to the ground and yelps. Does that hurt dog sound that immediately pierces at your heart?
Oh.
Yeah.
Not Oswin's.
Not Oswin's. Okay, Oswin
Oswin's
flits
afraid
away.
of dogs.
Tommy,
Yeah.
you are in the dark.
Yeah.
This isn't like walking down the hallway where you could make out features and there was light behind you and the flickering light bulb above you. This is pitch black.
This is advanced darkness. I'm sorry.
This is advanced darkness. Everywhere you look is just entirely featureless void. You hold your hand up in front of your face and you can't see it. You can feel yourself looking around. You feel your eyes are open. You can feel them blinking. But there's honestly no difference. If anything, you maybe see more when your eyes are closed. Because at least when you have your eyes closed, there's that fuzz behind your eyelids. That flickering movement of not even shapes, really. Just, background static you see when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
But when you open them, it's featureless, endless dark.
Okay. I get that this is my worst. This is bad. Thing. What's kind of silly is that I never got rid of this fear when I grew up. It was always just there. and I still don't really know why. It's the dark. So this doesn't help when I am, instead of being in my 30s, I'm 6.
Hey man, I'm 27 and the dark still sucks.
Hello, Tommy.
Yeah,
You hear the Pumpkin's King voice echoing from around you.
yeah. What?
Oh,
What? I'm stressed, okay? you
no, for sure. I've never been in this room before.
you said it was different for everyone. Of course you've never been in it. Anyway.
Some
Sorry.
of them are, like, similar.
Well, okay. So what exactly are, like, do I just gotta keep, I'm gonna have to keep moving forward because I don't think we're gonna get out of this if I don't keep moving.
It's not going super great for your friends, by the way.
I didn't think so. Maybe next time they should just listen when I say don't split up.
It works better when you split up.
Are you sure? You said a lot of them die this way. So
That's true.
yeah, so
They
I
die
don't.
quicker when they're together, though.
Who knows? I've gotten out of
The
weird.
rooms get jumbled up, mixed together. Like, if one skeleton would open a room and there's a bear, and then one skeleton would open up a room and there's a clown. If they go into a room together, sometimes there's a bear clown,
Not a bear
or
clown.
a bunch of bears and a bunch of clowns, and the bears and clowns are like working together or fighting each other. It gets weird.
That's where Tommy does start laughing a bit.
It's like, what?
I think I'm gonna keep moving forward.
It's pretty dark. You can't see anything. Who knows what's out there?
I'm aware of that, but if I'm
There
not.
could be a cliff. You could just walk right off it, never even notice.
Yeah, so there could be. There could also be a door where I find my sister, or Oswin, or I find you and I'm able to help, or the key. I don't know if I
that's
stay in
true.
one place and I don't keep moving. So I need to go. I can't see anything, so I'm just gonna keep walking forward. And I am so scared, but that's okay?
Which direction are you going to go?
I'm just gonna keep walking the way I was. I'm not going to.
What if that's the wrong way?
Like I said, it might be, but it could be the right way.
I think you should turn around.
And go where? I can't see anything. How do I even know turning around is the right way? That's.
Don't they say if you ever get lost, you're supposed to stay in one spot? It's easier to find you that way.
And who's gonna find me? Who? Carol went off. My parents aren't here. Oswin ditched. No,
Maybe the next skeleton that falls into this room.
but I don't know how long that would be. And I just want to go home, take a nap, prepare for the whole conflicting feelings of knowing my parents are getting a divorce. And just keep going, because that's kind of what you do even when you're scared. You kind of just have to keep going, or else you're not gonna do anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Tommy, you set off?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. I want you to... Gosh, is this a...
Can't roll gander because you can't see.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, I can't see anything.
A skidoo or a brace yourself?
I don't have either of those, so regardless, I'm gonna have a -3.
I think it might be brace yourself because you're like walking blindly into a place.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And no matter what, I have a -3 to this, so even if I roll fantastic, I'm gonna get a medium success. Um, I
Oh
would
no.
have gotten a 9. I now have a 6 because I have -3. So,
Oh.
mark
Mm.
experience.
Tommy, I want you to make this roll with advantage.
Okay.
This game doesn't necessarily have this rule, but I think after that speech and what we're doing with Tommy, I think it only makes sense. So how you do advantage in Powered by the Apocalypse system games is you roll 3 d6 and take the 2 highest.
That brought it up because I had rolled an 11, so I got an 8.
Okay.
I have a negative, so I have a -3 no matter what. I was gonna.
Yeah, you set off into the dark. And you are left alone. The Pumpkin King talks to you for a little bit, but as you walk, his voice gets more and more faded until eventually you leave whatever the Pumpkin King is behind you. And you just keep walking, going forward. Every once in a while, you hit something, only to stumble back and reach out in front of you to realize that it is gone now. And every once in a while you feel something sliding. You hear a movement, but you can never quite place it. But you keep going, and just like the hallway, which you felt like you were walking down for hours, this takes longer. Maybe days? Months? You feel like you've been walking for an eternity. Until you trip and you fall down again, slamming into the ground. And as you do, your hand lands on something. A small, ornate key.
And Tommy he gives that gasp and that laugh. He goes, I did it! I did it!
As you laugh and you pull up this key, the light turns on, and you look around, and you find yourself in an old-timey children's nursery. There is a bed by the window. There's a small crib. Blocks are scattered across the floor. There's a rocking horse, a few bookshelves with old books and things. Just a nursery.
I did it. And Tommy just hunches forward.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Yeah, I got your stupid key. I think I'm turn away for a moment. I'm gonna say some strong words that technically shouldn't be fit for a nursery. I deserve them.
The Pumpkin King genuinely starts to laugh. And then the laugh fades after a while. He laughs for a bit, and then the door to the nursery swings open.
Tommy goes and walks through it.
Fantastic. Tommy steps through the door from the nursery. Carol.
Yeah.
You are drowning.
Am I not turning to wood?
No, you are not turning to wood.
Okay.
You are looking down below you, and in the very distance, you see big yellow round eyes. Slithering, curling forms in the dark, curling and uncurling, wrapping around themselves before unwrapping, reaching further and further up for you.
Sure, this might as well happen.
Carol has just given up.
Maybe not given up, but I think she's probably gotten the the heater thing off of her at this point, but she's still sinking.
Sure.
Because she's made of, like, heavy wood now. I think she knows there's no point in swimming up. Because, like, one, that room was filling up anyway. It's probably full by now. Two, this is, like, some weird trick, trap, mind palace thing, so it's not gonna do anything. And, she's pretty tired and pissed off by all this stuff, so she just, in her head, she can't say anything out loud because she's underwater, but, like, in her head, she's like, yeah, come at me, man. She just swims towards it, and she's just gonna fist fight it underwater.
You swim towards it?
Sure.
Incredible. Gosh, I think that's a brace yourself.
I'm gonna go fist fight Cthulhu. Let's split Steve.
Guardian the Sand.
Excellent.
Siding quivers before him.
That is an 11.
An 11. You start swimming towards this thing, and as you do, the opposite of perspective trick happens. Normally as you move towards something, it gets bigger, obviously. We all know how eyeballs work.
Yeah.
As you start swimming down towards this thing, just kind of in a moment of madness, Carol, it gets smaller, and smaller, and as you swim down, you realize you haven't breathed in a while, but you don't really feel like you're drowning anymore. And as you make that notice...
Oh, it's like a dream. It's when you start drowning in a dream, but then, like, you just start breathing under the water, and you're like, wait, that's not physics.
Absolutely. As you do, a small octopus... no bigger than your hand, with big yellow glowing eyes.
It's just a little guy.
Swims up to you. Just a little guy. He's holding an antique key for you.
Oh,
He's just a little guy.
fun. He's mine now.
I was gonna say that my new friend.
He's my new friend.
He drops the key into your hand.
Thanks, Steve.
He waves goodbye with one of his little tentacles.
Thanks.
And then you hear the sound of, like, a stopper being pulled from a bathtub. And the water around you begins to violently drain out. In the, like, rush of the water beginning to swirl around, the sound of water going down the drain is in your ears and deafening somehow. You lose track of your new friend, Steve.
No!
And you spend about 5 horrible minutes being tossed around in a water vortex, only to land hard on the dry carpet floor of a basement.
Who put carpet in their basement?
Yeah, you look shag carpet in the basement.
Shag carpet in the basement? Who built this
Horrible.
place?
Horrible. This obviously was built in the 70s.
Oh,
horrible.
My God, yeah.
You look around and you see the basement as you saw it before, but it's better lit. You see the water heater is back up where it is, but it's not broken or anything. And you look over at the steps, and the steps lead up to a door.
All right. I don't think she even pockets the key. She just keeps it in her hand as, like, a way to make sure it stays real. And she goes up the steps and opens the door.
As you go up, you hear the Pumpkin King's voice. You're the second one to figure it out, Carol.
It's end of the thing. You just gotta fist fight Satan.
I think you might have learned the wrong lesson. But maybe your little brother can help you understand.
Yes!
Yay!
It seems like your brother understands a little bit more than you give him credit for.
1, I know. And 2, I'm being facetious. Gosh.
A trick!
Yeah, I got those too.
And the door to the basement slams open. Okay. Oswin.
Alright. Oswin does not know what has gone on with the others. Oswin fully believes that their life is in danger.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
And it is.
It sure is. Yeah. So Oswin, as the dog kind of falls and winces on the ground, Oswin kind of gives a little triumphant laugh, even though they did just kind of get bit, but they're also like, I got out, I escaped. Okay. So they kind of catch their breath back on another tree, just for a second.
You know what? I think it's a pug.
I think that's probably closer, yeah.
I was
Drooping-
wrong before. It's
drooping
probably
skin.
a pug.
Hardly fur, yeah.
So because Oswin cannot just hide in the trees anymore, they're gonna try and go to the ceiling.
As you flutter up to the ceiling, it's just those foggy glass panels that people use, for the ceiling of greenhouses.
Alright, Oswin's gonna grip onto the, framing of the panel. And look down at the dog and just go, ha! You can't knock this down!
Will Oswin die tonight?
Oh no!
Tune in next time.
Oswin, no!
As you look down, you see the dog thing called Fido, limping around the greenhouse. It looks pretty badly hurt and honestly malnourished. It gives whining sounds as it looks around.
I can't exactly take another look around, can I? We kind of already got the idea.
Yeah, you got your answer for what's going on.
Yeah, there's no doors, there's no nothing, it's just a completely sealed greenhouse.
Yeah, it's a sealed greenhouse. It's you, Fido, and some bushes that you're 90% sure are not rhubarb bushes.
I thought he said rutabaga.
Rutabaga.
It's not rhubarb, it's not rutabaga, it's none of those. It's a third different kind of bush.
Raspberry? It's gotta start with an R.
Nope, not that one. Wrong.
Alright, Oswin kind of adjusts their position on the ceiling and is like, okay. What do I do? They're gonna look around and see if there's any sort of, distraction for the dog. Is there a dog house? Is there a bone? Is there a dog bowl? What sort of thing?
You know, there's none of that, but you do see another bowl of candy.
Oh.
Set on a glass table next to some gardening tools, a pair of gloves that have been placed neatly aside, a half-carved jack-o'-lantern.
Oswin just starts salivating. They're like, if I'm gonna die, well...
Might as well die happy.
Yeah.
If you eat one of my subjects in front of me, it's gonna put a damper on our relationship.
Wait, the candy is your subjects?
No, the pumpkin.
Oh.
I'm the Pumpkin King. The real one. All of the times Tommy introduced himself as the Pumpkin King and no one, said, hey, the Pumpkin King isn't a thing. You can't be the Pumpkin. That doesn't make any sense. That's because I'm a real person.
Yeah. Well, I just, obviously I'm not gonna eat another pumpkin. The first one tasted awful.
Well, there you go. Wait.
Oswin's gonna try and like do like the dive that a bird does when it goes to grab a fish.
If you fly down there, you'll be getting closer to the dog.
But I'm so hungry.
How are you so hungry? What?
It looks hungry too.
You ate like 85 pies.
How are you so hungry?
Okay.
It looks really hungry.
I think Oswald's gonna try and come up with a scheme.
Ooh.
He's going to go over to a tree and nest in the top of it, wait for the dog to try and knock the tree down, and then try and fly again and use that as like a distraction to get the dog in one area of the room so that Osmond can fly to the other and get the candy.
Okay, sure.
Give the dog the pumpkin. It's not that hard.
Well, Osmond doesn't like to share, so...
Osmond doesn't like to share, and Osmond does not like dogs. And
These are all
Osmond
true.
is fully convinced that they're just gonna starve in this room. Because there's no exit. So, they're gonna do their little scheme.
You're gonna be a bat forever.
You haven't unlocked why Osmond is so greedy. You don't get that lore yet.
No, I know, but also,
There's only like one more episode after this, dude. I don't know when the lore's gonna drop if it's not today.
Osmond rolled an 8.
Nice.
Okay. Your scheme works, but does one harm, but any items you use are destroyed in the process.
We could assume maybe Osmond accidentally knocks over the candy bowl.
Yeah, it's all on the ground now.
Sure, yeah. You do exactly as you described. You fly up a
Grab a Kit
tree
Kat.
on one side of the room. Fido eventually goes over and does that horrifying thing where it cracks its paw apart and starts climbing up the tree. When it gets pretty high up, you take off, fly across the room, and crash land into the table, sending the bowl and the candy and the pumpkin flying onto the floor.
Okay, I think Oswin pretty quickly tries to scramble away. I think they try to grab at some candy and they just get one measly tiny piece of candy in their little foot before being able to fly back up to the ceiling.
It's one of those singularly wrapped Rolos.
Yeah, it's not even the good candy. It's it's like a weird hard candy or something.
Oh no, off-brand Jolly Rancher.
Exactly.
As you do, you grab this one bad candy and you fly up. You see that the candy that fell onto the ground is dirt now. The candy bowl is replaced with a broken pot, and the candy that hit the ground is now all bits of dirt.
Oswin looks at the candy in their hand, or in their paw, tiny little claw, I guess, and just starts crying.
Oh.
They start crying. They're like, I'm never gonna have enough.
As you do, the dog creature begins slowly limping towards you.
Underneath, I presume, because Oswin's on the ceiling.
Yeah, underneath. It reaches this pot with the broken shards and the dirt scattered over the floor. It sniffs it. It whines. And then it looks up at you on the ceiling. Again, no eyes.
Oswin is just hanging upside down with their little bat toes. And they drop the piece of candy and just wrap their little arms around themselves in a hug, a little bat hug. They're just like, I'm so hungry, and I just wanted to be alone. I didn't want to give my food to anyone else.
You drop the candy. It goes plummeting to the ground. It lands and bounces. The dog starts limping towards it. You think you have a moment to grab it if you want. But if you don't, the dog is going to eat it.
It's just dirt.
This one isn't.
Oswin sees that it didn't change when it hit the ground and just like feels a really deep pang in their heart and their stomach. But now the dog is very close to it. And they kind of curl up and they're just like, maybe I shouldn't go home.
The dog licks up the candy and looks up at you and tries to wag its tail. But it doesn't really have a tail, so it just kind of like shimmies its butt back and forth.
What do you want? Go away!
It barks at you.
You can't eat me, okay?
It barks at you again.
Just leave me alone. I'm not good for eating. You can't eat me. I'm not... You can eat me when I starve to death.
Fido lays down and places its head in its paws.
Oswin is now eyeing the pumpkin instead. Despite what they just said. And like seeing that the dog has laid down kind of gives them a little bit of a burst of just motivation. They're like thinking, okay, if I fly real quick and hide in the pumpkin, maybe it won't see me. And yeah, and they're like, because their feet are starting, his feet are starting to get tired, hanging onto the ceiling.
Sure.
He's a little beat up. He got bit. So he's gonna try and very quietly fly down to the pumpkin.
You land on the pumpkin. It looks like it's been mostly hollowed out. One eye has been carved, and then like the outline of a mouth has been kind of like started on. You crawl inside.
Oswin kind of sits inside in the nice dark area and curls up and kind of peeks out at the dog and then goes, Mr. Pumpkin King II, if this dog eats me, would you give all my candy to my sister?
I think I can do that, but only if I'm set free. Though I think your friends are very close.
They'd probably be better at it than me anyways.
That's true.
Damn.
They both found their keys before you. Neither of them got turned into bats. Their rooms were scarier.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They like each other.
Do you not like them?
They're alright, I guess, but I don't know.
Do you not like the dog?
I don't like the dog. I don't like my friends. I don't like my sister. All they want is to take things from me.
Sometimes when we are trying to learn a lesson, it is easy to learn the wrong thing. Or maybe we learn the right thing, but we don't learn the right way to implement it. When tricksters are in stories, it's about a 50-50% chance that we are the one carrying out the lesson, or we are learning a hard lesson ourselves. It is very easy to be hoisted by your own petard.
What?
I don't know. I'm a pumpkin, so I don't really wear a petard. If it is indeed something you wear.
Well, you know, this unfinished pumpkin is kind of annoying me. I know you told me not to eat your subjects, but can I finish it for you?
No!
I can't pick up the knife.
You would eat my guy.
Well,
That's my dude.
I just want to give it another eye. Finish his mouth, you know? True spirit of Halloween, you gotta have a good pumpkin. You should have seen the pumpkin's eye carved. They were all really cool.
Well, I guess I do like it when pumpkins get cool, spooky faces. That's
know,
the
right?
spirit of Halloween.
It's
but
one of
like
the
the
best
second
parts.
spirit, the main thing is tricks and treats. That's like the main thing. And then like under that addendum, pumpkin with spooky face. Secondary meaning of the season.
Alright. Osmond wants to do a thing where they really don't want to eat the pumpkin because they're sitting inside
Sure.
of it and they're like, yeah, this thing still tastes awful. But they're just gonna chew away at it and just kind of spit the pieces back out onto the ground. Just because they're like sitting inside and they're like, man, this thing is not finished. I can do better.
As you start doing this, Fido does look up at you. And again, no eyes, but it raises its head and it points itself in your direction.
Osmond kind of like stops for a moment and freezes and then spits a piece of pumpkin towards the dog. Just
Fido leans forward and opens its mouth. A long tongue comes slinking out, wraps around the bit of pumpkin, and then pulls it into his mouth, and it slaps shut like a steel trap.
okay. And Oswald keeps kind of chewing and spitting more pumpkin at the dog.
As you do, the dog, Fido, keeps, eating these bits of pumpkin, and as it does, it gets closer and closer and closer to you.
Oswald finishes up carving the other half of the pumpkin face, which, maybe it's a little rougher because they're using their tiny fat teeth, but it looks pretty good. It's almost symmetrical. They did a decent job. And and they see the dog has approached, and they're a little scared because now they just realize they opened up their hiding spot a whole lot more. And so they just kind of, hold still.
The dog is, right next to the pumpkin. It's practically curled around it.
Oswin slowly pokes his nose out and gives the dog a teeny sniff.
It does a big, big old dog huff. Not that, but... yeah.
Okay. Sit.
The dog tilts its head to the side.
I said sit. And I
It's already laying down.
Oh, is it?
So
I thought you said it was...
Yeah. It's laying down curled around the pumpkin.
Oh, I see. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, then. That was gonna be cool. Whatever.
I do like Osmond yelling sit at the dog and it being like, I don't know how to do this.
You can lay down. Lay its
I guess
head
if it's
down.
already
laying
already
down.
laying down and Osmond yelling sit is kind of cute.
Yeah. Eventually the dog just decides to place its head in its paws
Yeah.
as this is my sit.
I'm already sitting.
Yeah. I don't know how much more on the floor I can be.
Oswin climbs out of the pumpkin and just kind of goes around it, kind of on the opposite side of the dog's face. And it's just kind of slumps down on the ground. It's like, well, I guess this isn't so bad.
The dog licks you.
Oh, he doesn't want to.
And then it kind of like,
ate me.
it gags. It gags again. It starts to retch.
Oh no.
And it throws up a key.
Oh. Well.
Oh. Is that the skeleton key?
Yep, that's the one.
Osmond does a really quick skitter forward, grabs it, and skitters away.
As you grab it and skitter away, you glance back behind yourself to make sure that Fido doesn't make any sudden moves or launch itself at you. And when you do, you see a normal dog. It's not any particular breed. Just kind of a mutt.
It's still pretty spooky to Oswin.
Yeah.
But it's maybe a little less horrifying.
Significantly smaller. Little nub of a tail, curly fur.
Oh.
Like a sandy brown color. It panting happily at you.
Oh.
Okay, you can eat the rest of the pumpkin. Bye.
You take off, and as you do see a door leading out of the greenhouse.
Osmond beeline straight for it. He's done. The dog might not look as scary, but he's still terrified of dogs.
As you take off towards the door swings open right before you collide with it, and you fly out.
I'm free! I did it!
Carol and Tommy, you hear Oswin's little, "I'm free, I did it!" And you all find yourself standing at the end of a hallway. And there's twin doors together with a big brass lock hanging over the door handles that has 3 holes in it.
Oh my god, you're both okay.
And you're all together.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh my god, you guys would not believe I almost got eaten by a dog.
I almost drowned and got eaten by Cthulhu.
Tommy's just looking at them both like. I feel like there's a whole thing where you guys probably made it really exaggerated in your head. No.
Oh no, I straight up almost drowned.
You should have seen this dog. It had big teeth and like no fur, and it almost climbed a tree. They aren't supposed to be able to do that.
That's not what he meant. It's not. I couldn't even see my own hands. The Pumpkin King was what the Spirit Halloween Pumpkin King. At this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
He was talking about maybe I could have walked off a cliff. It was scary. That was.
Oh yeah, these were super physicalizations of our real fears and our mental fears and whatnot.
But that's
for sure.
what I'm saying is that you guys probably. I feel so old. You guys probably let it. You push through, but you didn't decide. The words are not wording. You built it up to make it more. You made it worse by building it up in your head. It was scary.
Hey,
but
I
then you
was
kept
pretty cool.
I feel like, not to interrupt or anything, but please free me from my torment.
Yeah,
and
one
Tommy
moment. Hey, I ripped a heater out of a wall with my hands. That was so cool.
With your bare
That's true,
hands.
I saw that.
Anyway, yeah, sticks, key, and wall.
Yeah, and so you fought a dog? What?
Oh, yeah. I fought a dog. I was also very cool.
Do the rest of you also place your keys in the
Yeah,
lock?
yeah. Tommy had shoved his already in there, like.
Yeah, I think as Oswin says, I was also very cool. He's like putting his key in and like not looking at them.
As you do, the lock just like automatically comes loose and falls free, and the doors creak open, revealing behind it a giant cavern. For the first time, the Skeletorium actually looks more like the rocky outside would appear. And as you step inside, you see towering over you is a giant, colossal jack-o'-lantern. It's
Oh, damn.
about the length of a bus, easily. Like truly colossal. And as you all come closer, you see that underneath it is a sprawling mass of giant tentacle-like roots. And sitting on its head is kind of like a jaunty crown held in place by a stem.
Whoa, it really is a Pumpkin King.
A Pumpkin King, not the.
The Pumpkin King, it booms. The original, the one and only, one might say.
You're more of a jack-o'-lantern than anything.
Jack-o'-lanterns are pumpkins.
They're carved out pumpkins. They're not.
Jack-o'-lantern be pumpkin, pumpkin be jack-o'-lantern. It's a full circle.
No, it isn't! Anyway, we did the thing.
You did.
How do we get out? Because I'm really, really tired of being in all of this weird stuff.
Oswin is looking around desperately for this candy corn that he was promised. He was promised candy corn and he's gonna have it.
As you look around desperately for those candy corn chains, you don't see any.
We've been
Just a
lied
big
to.
cave with a big weird jack-o'-lantern in it.
Hey, Pumpkin King,
'Tis I.
where's the candy corn?
What candy corn?
You got tricked.
Okay, that's not cool, man.
You got.
Oh! Oh, you're right, I did!
Got you.
That's not fun.
And now you have all learned the true meaning of Halloween.
What? Facing your fears? What are you. At this point, what?
I think I've decided Halloween is my least favorite holiday.
I was gonna say, I'm just over Halloween at this point. I just want to take a nap. I want to get some.
Deeply, deeply hurtful.
Okay.
Maybe next year when it comes around, I'll be back around. But like for now, I just want to go home. It's done. I'm over it.
It's normally Halloween's really fun. I aged a lot, and now I'm back being 6, which isn't fun.
What is the true meaning of Halloween, then, Tommy? What did I tell you?
You said it was ending up being it was trick or treat. I still think that it's also facing your fears. We all had to deal with facing our fears and getting through it. So trick or treat.
Well,
I mean,
from
originally,
my point of view, it seemed kind of more like tricks were being played on you, but that's semantics. You've had your tricks, and now you may have one treat.
that's a weird way to say that.
The roots kind of curl underneath it and lift up the jack-o'-lantern, and it begins crawling towards you like a spider.
Oh,
Don't like that. Don't like that.
I hate that
A
actually.
light ignites inside of the jack-o'-lantern and shines down on you like a spotlight, and you see flames beginning to lick out of its eyes and its mouth.
This just feels bad.
I think Oswald
What
thinks this is
wish?
super cool.
What wish would you ask of the Pumpkin King?
I mean, I think
Well-
collectively it's go home, right?
Well, hold on. I want to go home, and I know Carol does, but I think we have. This has been stressful. I mean, Oswin, you've been joining us to try to get home and get out of here, but then you try not to, and I'm a little trying to work together here.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought I wanted to go home because I didn't really like being here. But then I made some friends here and it kind of seemed a little better than home.
Well,
Maybe we can make it part of the wish that they come with us?
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, when I'm here, I get to eat as much as I want, and because I'm so small, it makes me even happier, and I don't have to worry about going back home and being hungry, and I won't have to worry about sharing any of that food with my sister, and then my sister won't have to worry about being hungry, and then maybe I should just stay, and you guys can go home, and I can wish to be the new king of Bonington, where they'll give me pies every year.
but it's one wish together. We don't get separate wishes.
Yeah.
So, but that's when
I'm sure your sister misses you.
She can't really miss me, though. She's like a baby.
you'd be surprised. It's,
Here you don't age. Here you can eat and eat as much as you want and you don't get sick. Gain weight, really.
But there's still things to be afraid of here.
I mean, and
They're
we've
just-
pissed off.
They're just different fears. The Marquis, witches, curses, monsters. It's the
Here.
same, but in the other world where we come from, at least there's people we know and that we can rely on.
If there's one thing I know about the Hollow, it is that kids don't stay kids. But I think that's true for where you come from, too.
But we don't turn into things that, we stay human.
Do you?
Well, when we go back, not here.
Do you?
Yes, I've lived it. Thank you very much. We stay human, but we change because that's how life is. Staying here, you're stuck. Staying here, the Marquis gets you one way or another, or you're stuck in a small spot like Dahlia, or you lose yourself like, I don't remember her name, the Lull Witch lady. You forget who you are like they did, and you end up no longer knowing who you are. At least there, even if you don't know, you have the way to find out. You have the means. You get your chances more than one. Here it's, I think if you
Lots of people in your world are losing their humanity and not knowing what to do about it. And sure, here, maybe things are always going to be the same. But there's something nice about that.
But that there's not. That's what I'm saying, is that keeping yourself like that is limiting. Yep, people are gonna people. I can't say that there aren't gonna be jerks or stronger words, but Oswin is here, and I think Carol might have an aneurysm if I say something. But
At least in
Here.
our world, there's a chance for change.
also, we've pissed off the Marquis way too much this stage.
Oh, for sure, yeah. We're like wanted criminals or whatever.
Yeah, that's also another thing to take into consideration. But change is something you want, because the thing about it is that you can keep changing. It isn't a one and done. You don't stop changing. But here you do, and then you just stop being you.
I think
None of this is wishes.
We
think-
understand that, but this is we're having a philosophical discussion for Oswin to have some thought, okay? This is a group decision.
I think I know what I want. Carol and Tommy, you two have been great friends. And you're really good brother and sister. I would wish for you two to go home, and for me to stay and become the Pumpkin King's new friend.
If that's the case, if we find your sister, because you just mentioned it, what should we say? Because I feel like it would just. You want to stay here, that's fine. I'm not gonna stop you because it's your choice. And that wouldn't be fair, or it wouldn't be part of this. But not acknowledging you at all, I don't think that's how this is gonna work also.
Well, I guess if you see my sister, you can tell her that she can have all of my toys and candy, except for the one toy that's underneath my pillow. That one's mine.
As much as I don't agree with your ideology, as someone who cares very much about the personal protection of their sibling, I don't agree with it. But I'm going to respect your decision, because I like you. And I think you're cool, Oswin. So if that's your wish, then that's what we'll wish for. I'm gonna miss you, though.
I think I'll miss you too. But, I don't know, being a bat is kind of cool.
I feel like we do, before we go, have to address the whole Marquis thing. Because I don't think you're gonna get off scot-free about that. We have pissed him off a lot.
Oh, for sure. Letting out Old Man Autumn really put you on his radar in a way.
Yeah, and we've been just really
Yeah, a lot of things. We put the sun in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put the sun back.
Okay.
And the moon back.
Can we maybe put a hold on our wish so we can make sure Oswin's set here, I guess? And then we'll go home.
I have another trick for you.
Oh boy.
So when I said I was going to send you home,
You can't do that,
minor trick. No, can't do that.
Okay!
But I can tell you how to get home.
You know what? That's better than what we've gotten so far.
So that's not our wish then. Can we?
If your wish is to go home, I can kind of position you in a way that comes true, and I'm going to take credit for it. Third trick.
But that's not a wish.
That's Carol.
That's
Carol,
just being nice and helping us.
Careful. At this point, I would like to hear what he has to say.
I want to know what kind of wishes can you grant? Like, can you just make the Marquis not be here?
No.
Okay.
Say he wouldn't have had to deal with that if he could have done that already.
Kind of. You found the limiter.
Okay.
It's the Marquis. The Marquis is kinda. I can't really do anything he wouldn't agree with.
Oh, so pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing is what I'm hearing.
Well,
We just went straight back to antagonizing this guy. we had a super heartfelt moment, and then instantly.
Well, he's being kind of a jerk.
He had a heartfelt moment. The Pumpkin King just was like trying to hurry us up, but we had a heartfelt moment.
I feel like if you had done the whole spiel at the beginning, this would have landed a little bit better, and you would have been like, oh, classic Pumpkin King.
No.
Classic Pumpkin King situation. Oh, it was foreshadowed all the way back in that living room.
No.
Dang, he got me.
No.
Haha, good trick.
Okay, Pumpkin King 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Wow.
Anyway, you said what was the next one about about dealing with you said the Marquis pointing us in the right direction.
The third trick you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even want to do it anymore. You have all been very mean.
Hey, that wasn't the deal. We freed you.
I was gonna say, I did not walk through a giant hallway that went on for who knows how long I went in there to in the dark where I could see better with my eyes closed. I saw more things to just stay here when I want a nap, I want to go home, I want to make sure Oswin's okay, and I think I want to strangle the Marquis at this point because
you're freaking out my brother. This doesn't happen.
And also, you keep going. Anyway, tell us that trick before I pull a trick that's called lighting you on fire.
Wait, did you all not figure it out? Do you, not get it?
What?
I swear, if you're the Marquis.
No, I'm not the Marquis.
I would like to go home and take my meds.
Look, I can give you a map to the Marquis' house. If you figure it out later, that'll be a great little moment for you. I'll just have to assume you'll piece it together, because if I have to explain it to you, I'll die a little inside.
How about you be a little bit more helpful? Because we've been doing a lot of things.
Well,
one root stretches out near you, kind of like a hand out in an offering, and then one root kind of swirls in front of it, and after it moves away, there is now a map hanging from the root.
Well, obviously,
I take the map. Yeah.
let me know if you piece together my final trick.
What? That you're just... What? That you're not really the Pumpkin King? You're just a jack-o'-lantern that can do things like that?
No, that part is real.
I mean, you just gave us a map, so I don't see what the trick is. Is there something weird about it?
There's also treats. Treats is also part of it.
Well, yeah, that's how... The spirit of Halloween I can get, I guess.
What?
But the pumpkin...
Whatever, my end of the deal is done.
And he
Okay.
bursts into flames.
Oh!
Oh, you wouldn't have cared about being set on fire. Dang it.
I think we should get out
and
of
the
here
Pumpkin
before
King
we're
burns
also,
down
like-
to the ground in front of you.
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
I actually hope he's okay. Wow.
If he's a spirit of Halloween, he's gonna be fine. If he's not actually and he was bluffing, then
Yeah, he's dead.
he did that to himself. I don't know.
Long live
how
the
to-
Pumpkin King, Tommy.
I mean,
There's only one Pumpkin King left.
Oswin is staring at the ashes of the Pumpkin King, who he said he wanted to become friends with.
oh yeah.
Riley, why are you highlighting all of my moves?
Why are you...
Looking at the
Why am I
character
looking at
sheet?
my own character sheet?
Bone Guzzler?
What?
The Bone
I'm sorry?
Guzzler from last episode.
Yeah, wait,
the Bone
what?
Guzzler from last episode.
He shows up? What?
No.
Just trying to strike fear in your heart.
This is some meta commentary, but a few weeks back when I was writing this episode, I really kept banging my head against the wall because I really couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I was in the bedroom, sitting on the bed, with my laptop in my lap, staring at an empty
I was
Word
working at the
document.
computer and I just kept hearing him say two things over and over.
And Jamie was, with me in the room on the main computer working away, and I was just trying things out. And so every once in a while, I would just look at her and say, Skeletorium. Bonington.
Bone Guzzler.
Bone Guzzler.
I just turn around, spin around in my chair, like, what?
There was about a few hours of that anyway. Before I finally settled on what this episode eventually became.
Well, I've
Which
been
was
enjoying
not
this. This
bad.
is amazing. Face Your Fears episodes are great.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna
for
say,
sure.
I love this, actually. A lot.